Hey gorgeous, welcome to Happy Go Fabulous. I am so thrilled that you're here. This is our space where we get real about life, the good, the messy and all the juicy bits in between. Real talk, real life and a whole lot of delicious living. But I must warn you, listening may cause unexpected outbreaks of fabulousness and real life magic. Hi, I'm Catherine and I am so incredibly passionate about helping inspired, motivated, impact-driven, freedom-seeking people just like you to do the deep inner work to create those beautiful outer wonders in life. It's all about revolutionising your relationship with yourself, where you fall madly, deeply in love with who you are and create a life so fabulous you can't wait to jump out of bed every morning to live it. Ready? Because ordinary living is so last season. Life's waiting and it's time to make it fabulous. Let's shimmy on in. Hey gorgeous, how are you? I'm upsy downsy, roundaboutsy today. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching the episode, you'll see that I am in my cozies, in my swimmers. I've literally just come back from the beach. I've been down at the beach and I wanted to capture this while it was really, really fresh, while it was fresh in my mind as to what's happening, and I kind of wanted to capture it in the moment. I've done that with a couple of episodes, and this one is interesting. It feels really good now, but man, today has felt super, super heavy. Oh, so heavy. Actually, the last couple of days it felt really heavy. So as I'm recording this, I record a couple of the episodes in advance, and I tend to capture what's going on for me at the time to be able to share from that space. And today it is the day before the full moon in March. So it's the 13th of March as I'm recording this. And the full moon is the full moon in Virgo. So it is about being organized and letting go. Full moons are around releasing and letting go the energy. It's a great time for that. And Virgo's about being sort of like really, really organized and decluttering, and there's a full lunar eclipse happening as well. So the energies, it's almost like the energy of the full moon is amplified, and it's just, I would say the last week I have felt very emotional, and that I sort of track more about the moon's energy and how it impacts me, and leading up to a full moon, I do get very emotional. So there's lots of energy happening at the moment. And in human design, that the sun goes into different gates, and I won't go into all the detail of that right now. But the gate that it has just gone into today is called gate 36, which it's a very, very emotional gate. And it's about turning chaos into compassion. It's about really riding that wave of emotions and allowing yourself to observe your emotions, but the energy isn't really about coming up with solutions. It's about recognizing that emotions are there and observing, reflecting, allowing, but not really trying to do anything with them. So it's not about suppressing them. And when we're talking about human design, we each have a blueprint that we come into this life, and it's based on the time and location of our birth, and it's kind of ancient wisdom combined with modern science, and that we come in, there's a blueprint, and there's a lot of energy, and what we're here to do in this lifetime, and our shadows that we're here to sort of move through, what our gifts are, and what the highest expression of us is, and a lot of potential for us. So when we talk about gate 36, which we're currently in today, as I'm recording this is in the planet of Mercury for me. So human design uses astrology as well. So it's in the planet of Mercury, and that's all about communication and thinking. And the energy of the gate 36 is about, it's called the gate of crisis, or the darkening of the light. And in essence, it's about feeling really deeply. It's about experiencing life through my emotions and then sharing my experiences with others. It's all about experiencing like turbulence and then moving through the turbulence and the crises, and then being able to learn from it and share the wisdom to help others through their experiences. So I know that's probably a little bit of a snapshot. If you are interested in human design, I do human design consultations and mentoring, and I can do your blueprint, your human design blueprint, and then do a consultation around that. So what that means for you. So I'm just a bit, I don't want to dive deep into that. So I'm sort of skimming the surface a little bit here. But I guess in essence, what I'm saying is there's a lot of bloody big energy happening at the moment. There's a lot of energy happening globally, but in my little world as well. And this morning when I went for a walk along the beach, I just felt really overwhelmed. I felt this surge of emotions, just this surge of emotions. And as I was walking, a part of me said, I just feel really lost. I feel lost at the moment. And, some of you will know bits about that. Like we've moved to this beautiful new location. I'm just going through huge transitions in life, huge transitions that, having lived in Canberra for 40 of my almost 59 years, actually 41 of all my almost 59 years. So Canberra's been a really big part of my life. And I've worked as variations of a coach, a corporate trainer, consultant for the best part of 40 years as well. So that's been really big. And I moved from Canberra to the coast, which I'm absolutely loving, but that's a transition, and, meeting new people, and that I haven't quite found my tribe yet. And it's some challenges around that. I found a couple of really beautiful people, which has been great, but it's different. I feel in that transition, I had a very established network in Canberra, and here I don't have that. I'm sort of transitioning. I'm still in Canberra once a fortnight in person with my executive coaching clients, and I have some clients online, but I'm in transition there as well. And I'm starting to do some or getting ready to run some events here, and they're taking slower. They're slower than not that I was anticipating, they're just slower because I don't know people here to tap into the community. So I just feel, when I walked this morning, it was just like, I just feel lost. And then it was like, well, where do I feel lost? And this is the meditation that's happening while I'm walking along the beach, and it's my connection with source as well. And it's this conversation that I have in my mind and in my heart and out of my mind. And it's just like, where do I feel lost? And it's like, there's just a part of me, or there's parts of me that don't feel settled. And it's like, well, find out the parts that feel lost. And I was just like, oh, all right. And I did some journaling, and there was nothing obvious that came up. And I was just like, well, come back to this, come back and find those parts that are lost. And then when I came back home, our plan today, which I did not want to do was we still have a lot of stuff in storage. When we moved, which is 12 months, this time 12 months ago, we put our house on the market in Canberra. So in last January, we started packing up our house. We hadn't found a new house. We didn't know where we were going to live, but we wanted to get stuff out of our house so we could put it on the market. And we put it in storage. A friend of ours had a shipping container that we could put stuff into storage. And so we weren't sure whether we should keep stuff or we might need some bits. So we culled a lot. We actually culled a lot, but it was the things just like, oh, we don't want to get rid of something if we're going to need it in a new place. So we put all this stuff into the shipping container, and then we had stuff in the house that we still needed to have for us. And then when we moved here, so we moved last July, we did an initial unpacking and kind of got settled. Still have some stuff in storage in the garage, but the shipping container, we got it shipped down here and we've just left it. They weren't the immediate things that we needed. But anyway, we decided that today was the day that we were going to unload everything out of the shipping container and put some shelves up, and then we're going to go through everything and do that next layer of culling. And this will be our pretty hefty layer of culling, because now we know where we're living, we know what we need and what we don't need, and we're going to need to be pretty brutal with stuff. And we're also we're not a minimalist family, so we have stuff, and we have a lot of my dad's stuff still. So my dad was an only child and he had a lot of stuff from his parents, and my mum, when she was an only child, so dad had stuff from her in the house that he hadn't got rid of, and he was a hoarder, big time hoarder. And then when John's mum passed away, there was we still had some of her stuff. We kept the special things that we wanted to keep. So we had some of John's mum's stuff. Both my kids have moved out of home and they've got stuff here as well. So there's just stuff. And it was like, oh, okay. And I just know when we were packing up, it was a big, big, big deal. It was a big deal. It took a lot of effort and energy. And so it was like, okay, let's do this today. Oh, and it just brought up so much energy again for me, so much energy, and just overwhelm. It's just like, oh my God, all these boxes and what's in them, like cookbooks and, books in our storage and still kitchen stuff. And it's just like, oh, I don't want to do it. But anyway, we got the boxes out of the shipping container. And it was hard, it was heavy, and I felt weak, and we tried to do it in the morning, but it was, of course, it's been really mild here, and then the day we choose to do it, it's bloody, bloody hot, and it was hard, and we were sweating and huffing and puffing, and I'm a grunty mover. When I lift things, I'm grunty. And it was just like, oh dear. And there was some bits that I just cried while I was doing it. I was just crying. And John's kind of moving his bits, and he's, lifting the heavy boxes and stuff. And I'm just going, this is hard. This is really, really hard. It just felt very, very emotional, and it felt physically hard too. And there was one box that I was carrying, and it was just this, it was a box of family, historical photos. There's a lot of photos of, my grandparents and their parents, and then a whole lot of other people that I don't even know who they are. And I had talked when one of the other episodes about Lauren Windsor, when we did an episode on decluttering. Oh, that was a couple of years ago now. But that, what did she call it? Heritage decluttering. I think there was another name for it. Heirloom decluttering. And it's just like these things feel like they're important, but they don't. I don't know who the people are in the photos, and some of them I do know, but what do I do with the photos? Like, I have actually scanned, I've got electronic photographs of them. So I've got an electronic version, but I've got the box, the physical box. And it's just like, what do I do? What do I do with it? So I've been stuck with that. That's been one of the boxes that has caused me a lot of stuckness. And it's just like, I want to be respectful in these boxes. Like, what do I do? Lauren, if you're listening, can you let me know again, please? The kids, they have no meaning for the kids there. We don't know who a lot of the people are. So anyway, it was this box, and I was carrying this box and it broke, and the box just fell apart and the photos fell out of the box. And I just cried and cried and cried and cried. And it was just like this release of emotions that, John John didn't come straight in. He heard the crash and he heard my scream, and it did take him a little while, actually. And then he said, "Are you all right?" And I'm going, "No." And then he was just like, "Oh, okay." I think he realised that I just needed some space. And anyway, I just cried and cried and cried. That real deep, 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 deep crying. And that was a release that it was just, I needed to do that. I felt just so overwhelmed. And I sat there, I don't know, maybe for 10 minutes or so. And I just felt so overwhelmed. And I said, "John, I need structure and order." I said, "I don't know what to do with these photographs." But once I cried, it was that guttural crying. Once I had done that, I was just like, okay, I need structure and order. We've got boxes. We'd moved it out of the shipping container into the shed so we could put shelves up in the shipping container. And I said, what's our plan? How are we going to do this? And there's going to be, a bit of double and triple handling about stuff, but it will be a really good process because we get to go through stuff that we want to keep and really release the things that we don't want. And it's interesting, when we set today as the date to do that, I did not think about the human design. I did not think about the full moon and the lunar eclipse, but it's all in a line with that. It's all in about that really organizing and structure and decluttering. It's a very, very cleansing energy. And even though I did not and do not enjoy doing the decluttering, it actually, when that box broke, it was like almost that breakthrough that I needed. And the release was, I've been holding that in, and the release was just, oh my God, it felt so freeing. It felt so healing. Oh my gosh, it just felt so healing. And then I could sit there and go, okay, well, what do we need to do now? It was a different energy that came with it. It wasn't that whole heavy energy. It was like, okay, let's move. It was almost like those emotions were moving through me. So that felt really great. And then because it was getting hot, we decided to go to the beach. And to help with overwhelm, getting out in nature is just such a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I'm so incredibly grateful that my nature just happens to be gorgeous bushland, but pristine beaches. And we went to the beach, and it was just the two of us at the beach. And we went, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is just going to be so beautiful to just cleanse what, the remainder of that overwhelm, just go for a swim in the ocean water and cleanse that away and heal. And I went into the water, and it was fucking freezing. It was just like, oh, I can't do it. I can't get in here. So I sort of stood in the water for a bit, And it was just like, oh, it's too cold. And for anyone that you probably wouldn't even know this about me, but it takes me forever to get into the water. You know how some people can just like walk into the water and dive under? I know my son does that. Henry is able to do that. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm one of those ones that just keeps going in. And it's just like, oh, oh, and I was doing that today, going, oh, it's just too cold. So I went and I lay on my towel in the sun. And the sun, like I am solar powered. I am solar powered. The sun is my energy. The sun is my God. The sun is my, anyway, so I lay in the sun and I kind of drifted off, but I felt my body just jolt. There was an actual jolt in my body that woke me up. And it was just like, get back in the water. The water is healing. Get back in the water. And we had our boogie boards with us. And I haven't I've only dipped in the water a little bit, in all honesty, over summer. And we had our boogie boards. I haven't even been on the boogie boards down here at the beach. And when I said to John, let's take them, he's like, what? Like, what? You? And I'm like, yeah, I just feel the need to take my boogie board down to the beach. So when my body jolted, it was like this feeling within me that to get back in the water. And I went in with the boogie board and the water was warm. Like, it just felt really different. It felt refreshing. It felt cleansing. And I rode those waves. That was just the most incredible feeling. And I didn't get out for ages. I was in the water and John's going, what the fuck? Like, really? Who are you? And it was just so much joy and so much. And the waves are pretty dumpy and stuff. He said, what are you doing? And it was just like, I didn't get dumped. It was joyful, and it felt very refreshing and cleansing and healing. And it was just like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I needed. And when I walked up the beach back to our towels, I was carrying the boogie board and I just felt, and this younger version of me just morphed into me and I was her. And this memory of me as maybe an 8-year-old walking along the beach with my foam surfboard, that she was there. And I'm going to cry when I say this, that she was me and said, thank you. Thank you. I've been really lost. And thank you for finding me again. The fun, carefree version of me, the version of me that takes risks and feels the cold water, or doesn't even feel the cold water, but just gets in and swims anyway. And that version of me who is free from burden and worry and all the elements of stuff and, the overwhelm and the responsibility and the heaviness that I've been carrying, the version of me who is free and fun, like really fun, really, really fun, but light and free. And I don't even know if, I find that really hard to explain, but it was almost like I was that younger version of me. And I felt like I had retrieved that part of my soul who has been missing for a long time, that inner child who has been missing, that inner child who has been missing, and that whole soul retrieval element. And if I flip back to this morning when I went for the walk along the beach and I said, I feel lost, I haven't said that to myself. I felt confused and things like that. But this morning was this really deep feeling of feeling lost. And then through the experiences of today, the releasing, that the heaviness of the moving the boxes again, and the dropping that one particular box that has been causing me a lot of worry as to what to do with it. Out of all the boxes, that's the box I don't know what to do with. And it's interesting that that was the box that dropped. And that was the box that helped me to have a breakthrough and to really release those emotions, just release them. I didn't sit there and going, oh, what does this feel like? And what's this? And what's happening? I just cried and cried and cried and cried and just let it out. And then when I went to the beach, the version of me that was lost, she came. She was there. Was that because of the crying that I did? Was that because this morning I said I was lost? Is that because I don't know? And I'm not sure I really need to know that. But she came forward, and I feel a wholeness in me that I haven't felt for a very long time. And I feel, oh my God, I feel like I just want to go back to the beach and ride that boogie board. I feel like I just want to not give a shit about stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do. I am really going to tap into that energy so much more. And I think she will just be there now. It's like she's just there. She's always been there, but just hasn't been able to come forward. So if you're feeling very emotional, if you are affected by the energies of the universe, what's going on around you, and want to understand that more, there's a whole range of things I can do to help with that. Getting familiar with human design is very cool. That's a very cool thing to do as well. And that has helped me to really understand myself more, and fully embrace and embody the parts of me that I used to think that's kind of not okay, but it is completely okay. So human design, there's some very cool stuff around soul retrieval as well that I do. And it's helping to tap into the parts of you that are lost. So I take you through a much more of a guided process. Mine was pretty loose today, but it was obviously what needed to happen. But I can take you through a guided process about that soul retrieval, which is pretty freaking cool as well. But if you're in your time and just feeling a little bit sort of confused or overwhelmed or wobbly, just pay attention to how you're feeling. Just pay attention. I think even sometimes we try and work out, like, why am I feeling that and what's going on? And I do that a lot, but just going, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm feeling really emotional today. I wonder why that might be. What's going on around? There's lots of very, very big energy. This full moon and the likes, or it might be a different time of the month for you as well. Don't try and come up with solutions when you're in the depths of the emotions. Don't try and fix it. I didn't try and fix things today. I just allowed it to happen, and I witnessed and observed what was happening. And really connecting with those parts of you that are lost. And inner child work is very, very powerful as well. And that's connecting with younger versions of yourself. And there's different processes that you can go through to do that. And if you're interested, reach out. There's a whole range of things. There's a whole range of things that I can do that can help you do that. Even just having a, guided meditation, hypnosis. I do hypnosis as well. Even the sound frequency can help, like a combination of the whole things. So anyway, I'm feeling, I feel very different now than I did this morning. I feel very different. I feel lighter. I feel more empowered. I have a different view on going and unpacking this stuff. I feel that it is just something that I can do, and it feels very manageable, and just chunking it down into, just so it doesn't become overwhelming. It just seems very matter of fact, in all honesty, whereas this morning it did not feel very matter of fact. It felt worrisome it felt worrisome. And if ever you are down this way, Bingy, New South Wales, the south coast of New South Wales, come and hang out and let's go boogie boarding together. That would really light my heart up with so much joy. So anyway, hugs, happiness, and reach out if you feel that you would like to reach out. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Happy Go Fabulous. I hope you loved it. If you did, could I ask a big favour? Please subscribe, leave a review, and most importantly, share the love and let your besties know about the podcast. This will help get it into the hearts and ears of all the gorgeous souls who need a little bit of fabulous in their life. If you'd like some more high vibe happiness in your life, come and visit me on my Happiness Hive socials and make sure you've signed up to my newsletter, your weekly drop of juicy goodness. Pop over to my Happiness Hive website and click on the link Working with Catherine. I'd love to help you make life amazing. Until next time, keep being fabulous.